This is Carlos with Casas Roofing. Today we're at a job site in South Chula Vista. As you can see behind me, that's actually Mexico over there. This is a back patio, which is going to be a flat style roof. So what we're going to install here is a TPO. Right now the guys are installing a 2-inch insulation board, and then this is a cover board, and then on top of this is where we're going to install the TPO, right? So the reason why we're installing a TPO on this roof is because it's flat. This pitch roof over here, it obviously has shingles, right? That's the right type of roofing material for a sloped roof. But if it's flat, we're gonna want to make sure we use the right roof, which is the TPO membrane, which is designed for anything under 312 pitch. It's about like this. We're gonna want to install a TPO. If you have a really low slope roof, which about 312 to like 2.5, 12, we can sometimes still install shingles. Technically, if it's under 412, the manufacturer is not going to allow it unless there's a crucial stage where a lot of roofers, don't consider this. But if you're at 312, you can still install shingles, but the underlayment has to be a peel and stick membrane. It's got to be a self-adhering membrane. That's going to help, right? If in case you get a little bit of water intrusion, since it's stuck together, it's still going to be waterproof. That's how we're able to sometimes install on a low slope roof, depending. If there's a lot of penetration, if there's a lot going on the roof, then we're usually going to recommend TPO roof. We lifted a little bit of shingles here so that, when we bring our new roof underneath, we're going to install new shingles on top of that. That way any water that comes down is going to run off of the flat roof. And then this skylight was added at some point after the roof. So it really is not ideal because this is a transition area, right? From the slope roof to the flat roof. So what can happen here is that the water gets trapped. He actually had a leak in the past, he mentioned. So what we're gonna do for him is we added a little bit of plywood to add we call it a cricket. It's called a cricket, and the idea of this is going to divert the water off to the side so it doesn't get stuck here. Right here, as you can see, we have a severely rotted fascia board that we changed. If I had to guess, this is a combination of termites and water damage, because we had a gutter here in place that looked like it was leaking. And as you can see here, right, we removed that piece. But we're probably going to also replace a little bit here. But yeah, we've definitely had some termite damage in this area. So since we're only doing the back roof, we're going to probably change a small piece of this fascia. And then down the line, this homeowner does want to do the entire roof. When it does come time to do the entire shingle roof, then what we're probably going to do is change this whole fascia board and have it be one span. For now, we're going to do the best we can to, replace some of the extremely rotted areas here, but since we're not replacing the entire roof, we can only do so much, but we're gonna help the homeowner in any way we can, right? We're not just gonna leave it like that. Since we're gonna be installing a TPO roof and then we're gonna be installing a new metal, we need to make sure that this wood is solid. So imagine if we were trying to nail into this, that would not be the right thing to do, especially when it's the edge metal, one of the most important components of the roof. We need to make sure that it's fastened securely and the nails grab properly in order to prevent wind uplift, because it's on the edge and we hit a high wind, especially right here since we're kind of on the top of a hill. We're going to need to make sure that we fasten that properly. That's where we always change out all the wood. We're also going to paint it for him. So instead of just installing it bare, or just a prime piece, we're going to paint it before it gets installed. That way the homeowner doesn't have to worry about doing that after we install the new lumber.